Today we are taking a big beast for a spin. This camera has been a trusty companion for years now, and even after dropping it on the concrete it still works. Well, at least the lens is broken, but I replaced that. I'm talking about the Mamiya RB67, of course. Got this one out of Japan for a pretty reasonable price, let's say 6 or 7 years ago. In this series I'm testing out 4 different medium format cameras to see which one fits my style really and my workflow. And also if medium format is still something that I enjoy. But we'll talk more about the camera in a bit. Let's get into it. Welcome to a new episode of Frames. Because I know this camera so well, I decided to only shoot it in the studio for this episode. I'm not taking this beast with me on location or on a trip. It's just too heavy and bulky for that. And definitely without a grip. I know that a lot of people do this, and trust me, I did too, multiple times, but it's just not for me. And this series is all about me finding my perfect medium format camera. So, the studio it is, and I had the perfect opportunity to hijack Xenia's portrait session with Gina. And if you're interested in those shots, please go check out their Instagram pages. I'll link everything down below. On this first outfit I used flash, which on the RB67 works amazing, normally. I've got 2 lenses at the moment, and one doesn't have the socket for the flash cord anymore, and on the other one the flash cord doesn't really fit well on the socket, so sometimes I fire a frame without triggering the flash. So if you want to use this camera in the studio with flash, make sure when you buy a RB67 that the socket is in pretty good order. It didn't really matter a lot to me in this situation because it was so dark that without flash it wouldn't even expose the negative. And the nice thing about the RB67 is that you can shoot the same frame because you also have to rewind the back too. This way you can also create some nice double exposures if you're into that. So yes, Kodak Tri-X it is for this outfit. I think it really worked out well, but I also think that I should have given it more light. I metered everything right, but somehow the scans came out a little bit underexposed. I tried to fix it in Lightroom as far as I could, and I also don't hate the look of a little bit underexposed black and white film. Had to get a ladder because I wanted to be more eye level with the model, and I got the waist finder on it. So yeah, for this camera there are also options for a prism finder, which is nice because then you also don't have the reversed image. But I don't have it, and I also think it would make the camera even heavier and bulkier. 10 shots on a roll, of course, with this big 6x7 negative. So after this tri-X, I decided to go for some color film, because the next outfit really deserved that. I also shot this with the available daylight. This is the old studio from Xenia and it has some pretty good light coming from those windows. So I switched lenses and got rid of that flash cord. This is Portra 800 by the way, and I think I shot it at box speed. Before we take a look at these shots, I want to thank Fotohandel Delfshaven for collaborating with me on this project where I find my perfect medium format camera. They didn't pay me to say anything, but they did lend me all of the cameras in this series. Except for the RB67 of course, which is already mine. I bought my black M6 over there and I think this is the perfect store to do it. It's completely dedicated to film cameras and I just love stepping into there. Everything gets checked and surfaced by their own technical department before it arrives on the shelves. These guys are not sales driven, they rather provide you with a camera that's a lot cheaper but really fits your needs. They give advice and search for the best option for each customer. And with that comes their rental department, because that way you can easily try out the camera before you buy it. And this is also nice for those photographers who just need something but don't want to buy it for just one time. Fotohandel Delfshaven works together with a lab, so after your rental you can leave your film there to be developed and scanned. I know that if I want to buy a medium format camera from this series, I would definitely do it at their place. So that was the roll of Portra 800 and I knew that the next setup was again perfect for some black and white film. These shots also needed more light. I'll keep that in mind next time I shoot this film stock in the studio with flash. But because these images have so much black negative space in it, I think it works out. My conclusion about the RB67 is that it's still such a workhorse. Definitely in the studio, and therefore it has been my go-to medium format camera for years. A lot of things that I like about this camera also go for the RZ version of this. It's an updated version, it's a little bit lighter and it has some newer glass, but it's also electronic and I don't like that too much. I've seen a lot of people getting rid of the RZ and buying a RB just because of failing electronics. What I really like is the rotating back, and that's where RB stands for. It's just ideal for switching between landscape or vertical compositions without turning the whole camera around. And you can even get a couple of those to load up some different film stocks. With this camera, if you want to, you can get up very close to a subject without even having a macro lens. This is possible because of the bellow system. Just take in account that you need to compensate for the extension with some extra stops of light. The price isn't too bad at all, and I think is the cheapest option for a really good medium format camera. A kit will cost you between 800 and 1400, depending of course on the condition and the lens choice. So what do you guys think about the RB67? Is this something that you would pick up? Let me know in the comments down below. For now, thanks for watching and I'll see you next week. Peace!